How low will Bitcoin go? That's the question everybody's asking. We're going to talk about it here today on the Crypto Biz. That's what we're calling this. My name is Andrew Meyer, and I got some charts for you. You're going to want to see this stuff. You got to check it out. This is what some people call the psychology of a market cycle. This is a stereotypical mindset. When we see any kind of stock go up, there's all this elation, euphoria. Oh, this is going to keep going up. This is real. It can never come down. And then when something comes down, we see anxiety, denial that it's happening. No, it's not going down at all. And then panic. Everybody sell. Everybody quickly get out, get out. So, and then things come to a lull. So I show you that chart only to bring you now to the Bitcoin 1-year chart. Let's take a look at this. So this is Bitcoin over the past year, and maybe you see some similarities to that stereotypical boom and bust cycle that we were just looking at in the other Wall Street chart. Bitcoin had a massive rise and then falling, and then another rise and falling. And when you look at especially just the 3-month chart alone, this is a comparison of the last 3 months of Bitcoin to that Wall Street psychology chart. And I don't know, it looks to me pretty similar. And when you talk about the boom and bust cycle, what you're talking about is a lot of speculators coming into the market, not understanding necessarily the fundamentals of what they're investing in. So Bitcoin, a lot of people that got in early, they understand that Bitcoin can be a replacement for the dollar, that the dollar, they can print trillions of it at any time they want and deflate the value of the currency. So a lot of people moved into Bitcoin saying, okay, there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin that's ever going to be made. So this has value that can't just be inflated the way the dollar can. And what you saw in this big cycle now is you're seeing people putting lots of money in, not necessarily understanding why Bitcoin is going up, why people are using it in the first place. And then when it starts to drop, somebody sells a bunch and drops the market, then, or some bad news comes out, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. Then it starts falling and everybody panics, dragging the price down with them. So again, let's take a look at that Bitcoin 1-year chart. And this is extremely important. When you look back, you can see right about in the middle of that chart, maybe a little earlier, there is a line of support at $5,000 per Bitcoin. Very unlikely that Bitcoin would fall below that support line of 5,000, with strong resistance at 4,800. You're not going to see Bitcoin fall below that most likely, because that is the benchmark that it established for a long time. And I think part of what we were possibly seeing in why Bitcoin was going all the way back down after reaching highs near 20,000 and then coming back down to earth, which I expected, by the way. I expected Bitcoin to have a fall from 20,000 because I've seen this Wall Street investment cycle before, or just this investment cycle for any commodity that goes up and down. I especially saw it with gold and silver in that market. When you see people getting into an asset they don't necessarily understand and then it has a fall, they're going to bring it coming down with them with their panic. And I think we saw China maybe helping that along. Bitcoin is really empowering a lot of people in the States and around the world. So China doesn't want a new asset being developed in the United States, people having a newfound wealth. So China put this out. This is the South China Morning Post talking about China trying to stamp out cryptocurrency trading completely with a ban on foreign platforms. And this just came out, published on February 5th. So I think Bitcoin was having somewhat of a natural correction. Maybe somebody spurred some trading from the top, selling a lot. But I think there was a natural correction to be had. China maybe wanted to push it down even further. And then what saved Bitcoin? Because right now, let's take a look at this. Bitcoin is back over 8,000 already. I think it might have hit that $5,000 support line. But Bitcoin's back over 8,000 already. 100 coins in the green. So Bitcoin and 99 other altcoins back in the green already. And I think part of what stopped the giant bear market for Bitcoin, part of what helped it come back up is actually U.S. regulators. I don't normally praise U.S. regulators, but the Senate had some hearings on crypto, and they were cautiously optimistic. I want to read you a quote, actually, from the CFTC Commission chairman. Christopher Giancarlo said, this isn't a quote. He said, he defended Bitcoin's value, explaining the process of mining and how it correlates with price, or sometimes breaks from that correlation, as economists have cited. And actually, the SEC commissioner was there as well, Jay Clayton, and he was not as optimistic on Bitcoin, but he said, and here's the quote I wanted to read, there are a lot of smart people who think there's something of value of there's something to the value of cryptocurrency in the international exchange. Now, he downplayed this. He said, I'm not seeing those benefits manifesting themselves in the market yet, but the fact alone that he was touting that there's a lot of smart people that see the benefits of cryptocurrency, I think that had a big effect in helping to rally Bitcoin, preventing it from dropping to that low resistance point and support level of 5,000 or 4.8. So Bitcoin, I expect to go back up. I think we're going to see another cycle, not necessarily in the next coming days. And what a lot of people don't understand, this what we're talking about here is for investors. I'm not talking about day trading. You're looking to make a quick buck. This is for people that want to put their money in something that they can let it sit for a few months, marinate, and appreciate. I think Bitcoin has another big rise to come. So the people trying to, get in your money while it's hot, get it while it lasts. You got to look at why it went up in the first place. And when you look at this cycle, there's a great chance that Bitcoin's going to be on the big upswing and a big rise coming again soon. And I think from these charts, you understand why. So this has been the Crypto Biz. I'm Andrew Meyer. Stay tuned. We got a lot more content coming for you soon.